Hey there, if you're a parent, you know the feeling. Watching your child grow, celebrating every single smile, every new word. But sometimes, in the back of your mind, a little worry can start to creep in, especially when you're tracking those developmental milestones. Today, we're going to talk about what it means when some of those milestones seem just a little bit out of reach. Is my child's development on track? Man, that question can hit you anywhere, right? At the playground, a birthday party, a family get-together. It's a completely normal thought to have. And honestly, asking that question is the single most important first step you can take. So, what are we actually looking for? Well, here are a few common examples of what experts call red flags. Now, I don't want you to think of these as scary alarm bells. It's more like a little tap on the shoulder, a guidepost that suggests maybe it's time to have a chat with a professional. They're just signals to pay a little closer attention, that's all. And if you're having these concerns, you need to know this. You are so far from being alone. The CDC estimates that about 1 in every 6 children in the US has a developmental delay. This is a shared journey for millions of families. So let's get a little more specific about what one of these delays might be. Okay, so let's put a name to this. Global Developmental Delay, or GDD for short. I know, it sounds like a really heavy official term, but stick with me. We're gonna break it down. Because just understanding what it means, that's the first step to making it feel way less intimidating. First things first, let's talk about the foundation. Developmental milestones. These are the skills we expect kids to develop by a certain age. You know, that first smile, rolling over, taking a first step. Think of them as a general roadmap, not a strict schedule, because every single child develops at their own unique pace. So, with that in mind, what exactly is global developmental delay? It's a term for children under 5 who are significantly behind their peers in at least 2 areas of development. That's the key right there. That's why it's called global. The delays aren't just in one little area, they're seen across different parts of a child's growth. And these are the key areas that doctors look at. When they're assessing for GDD, they consider these 5 domains. Gross motor skills are the big movements, like running. Fine motor skills are the smaller, more precise actions, like holding a crayon. Then you've got communication, social skills, and the cognitive skills used for problem solving. A significant delay in any 2 or more of these is what points to GDD. Okay, so now that we know what GDD is, the next natural questions are, why does it happen, and how do doctors even diagnose it? Let's explore the answers to those questions. The causes can be incredibly varied. They can range from genetic conditions to complications during birth, like being born prematurely, or even health issues like chronic ear infections that affect hearing and language. But it's really important to note that for many children, the exact cause is never found. And that uncertainty is okay. It doesn't change the path forward. Now, this is a really important distinction to understand. GDD is not the same as an intellectual disability, or ID. The key difference, as you can see, is age. GDD is a diagnosis for kids under 5 because it's often too early to reliably test for intellectual functioning. Some kids with GDD will catch up with support, while others may be diagnosed with ID later in childhood. Another important distinction is with autism spectrum disorder. While both can involve delays, there's a key difference. Think of it this way. GDD is often about the pace of development across the board, while ASD is more about the pattern of development, particularly in social communication and behavior. You'll often see those distinct repetitive behaviors or highly focused interests with ASD. Okay, we've defined the terms and looked at the causes, but the most important part of this story is what comes next. Let's talk about the power of intervention and the path forward. And this all comes down to a remarkable concept, neuroplasticity. In early childhood, the brain is like wet cement. It's incredibly moldable and forming new connections at an astonishing rate. Early intervention works because it takes advantage of this unique window of opportunity to build strong new pathways and help a child learn and grow. So what's the game plan? It's actually very straightforward. It starts with a conversation with your pediatrician. From there, you can request a formal screening, which will connect you to a network of early intervention services. The great thing is, these are often available for free or at a low cost, and they are designed to guide you every step of the way. So what does this help actually look like? Well, it's a team of specialists who can support your child in very specific ways. For example, speech therapy can help with communication, Physical therapy can build strength and coordination for those big motor skills, and occupational therapy can help with fine motor tasks and daily activities, like getting dressed.
This brings us to the future. A diagnosis of GDD isn't an endpoint. It's a starting point for providing your child with the support they need to thrive.
This quote from the Cleveland Clinic really captures the essence of it all. It's a powerful message of hope and empowerment. The goal of early intervention is to help your child bridge the gap and unlock their unique potential.
And remember, you are your child's first and best teacher. The things you do every day, reading a book, building with blocks, sticking to a routine, all of these reinforce the skills they're learning in therapy. And most importantly, celebrate every victory. No matter how small it seems, progress is progress.
So we end with this question. Understanding is the first step, but action is what creates change. Whether it's making that first phone call or just trusting your gut, you have the power to make a difference. Thank you for taking this time to understand. You are your child's best advocate.